Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I managed to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. For the past few episodes, my episodes have been a little bit negative and a little bit against some people and against some things. But today is a special episode for me. I want to thank my mom and all the other disabled moms and dads, but mostly moms, because I know that the moms are the ones that stay home with the kids and help us through our lives. I remember my mom when I started school, she would spend time with me and my therapist, so she would learn all the therapies that I needed to do. So she would help me at home, help me with therapy, help me do therapy. Even though there were times I would be so frustrated, I would get frustrated and I didn't want to do therapy. But there she was, helping me through it. So, thank you. And I also want to thank all the therapists also. But mom, special thank you to you, because you help me even to this day through my life. You drive me to store when I need to go there. You drive me places that you don't really want to go. I'll mention one. I know you don't like to go to the Apple store, but when I need to go, you take me there. You take me to my blood work, and thank you. I appreciate all those things. And thank you to also my dad for driving me and my mom to all my doctor's appointments. It's something I want to say thank you. For those of you that don't know, that don't have a disabled child, it's different. Even when we're adults, sometimes we need help from our parents. Right? But that's okay. I do what I need to do. I get help when I need to get it. Thank you, moms. Thank you, dads. Thank you to all of you out here that help us do our thing. And thank you for taking us to where we need to be. And I know it's hard to have to learn therapies and stuff like that. And I will also thank you for the times that you spent in the hospital with me while I was recovering from surgeries. I thank you. This is an episode that I did just because I felt I needed to do it. To thank the parents, thank the people, the caregivers. And a lot of times it's the mom, and sometimes with me it was my grandmother also on my mom's side that's no longer with us. But thank you, Grandma. Thank you. Because without you two, I don't know where I would be. Yeah, and I'll say this also. I was going through private therapies for a while. And I'll tell you, honestly, the hardest times in therapy was after surgery, when the doctor would say, okay, you can go back to therapy now. My God, that would hurt. But I am here. And I'm here and I'm doing what I can with those things. Those private therapies are hard to do. I miss school. Sometimes to go to them, but they were important. Yeah. I got up Saturday mornings, I would go. I'm like, that's something I didn't want to do. But here we are, I did what I had to do. And I'm living my life to the fullest because of that. Yeah, it's not to the fullest because there's a part of my life missing that I'm going to say. It's a part of my life that's missing. I don't want to say here, but I'll tell you in the future what. Let me find a way to do it. I can't do it now because I think about it. So, now, I say once again, thank you. Thank you, powerful moms. Thank you, powerful parents that support and back their children throughout their lives. I know it's hard to have a special needs child. I'm not using the word disability because it's not correct now, and I know how to be correct. It's something that I find that we need to do as people. It's but we do what we can. It's, for example, one of the ways that I help my family is, for example, let's say my mom needs a solid waste pickup. Hold on. For those of you that don't know what a solid waste pickup is, that live in other countries, because I know I have people that live in other countries. Our counties here in the United States provide periodic pickups of trash. What I mean by trash is trash limbs, wood, those things of that nature, but not construction debris, at least in my county. So, let's say one of the things that I would do is, let's say that we need a trash pickup. I've been dealing with that since I've been 17 years old. I have the patience and the time to sit there and ask them and call them and wait on hold, which is a pain because you're calling a government, you're calling the county. That's part of the government, and if you don't know, that's part of the government. That's hard to use. Call them. They can give you dates and times. They give you dates on when to pick them up, and okay, that gets scheduled. But and also, let's say the phone or internet breaks, I call and I deal with that. So those are ways that I help my family, doing things that they're not completely comfortable with doing. But here we are. It's so funny that people can't. Some people, that's my strength, to really do things that people that other people don't like to do. I'll handle those things. It's not something I'd love to do, but it's something that needs to be done, and I get it done. I make a phone call, do things. It's not a problem. And part of the issue is that my mom and both my dad is English is second language to them. My dad's from Cuba, my mom's from Costa Rica, so they don't, she, for one, doesn't speak great English. Speaks better now, but no. When I was in school, it was hard because there was times I needed her to talk to my English, to talk to my teacher because of situations, and I couldn't do it because the teacher that I'm specifically speaking about, I would tell her, if I would say certain things that needed to be done, she would not listen to me. She would actually ground us. Sorry, not ground us. She would put us in the corner and punish us because she felt that we were talking back to her or something. I'll give you a prime example of this. Let me give you an example. One day, the paraprofessional gave us all peanut butter. I'm not used to eating peanut butter. I don't like peanut butter sandwiches. I didn't eat much, so what I did, I dealt with it that day because what could I do? I don't want to get punished for saying I don't like something, even though I don't think it was fair. But I had told my mom I didn't eat much, and she asked me why. I said, well, because they gave us peanut butter. I don't eat that. So, what my mom did, I asked her to do it. I went to the teacher and told her that I don't like peanut butter, and that I shouldn't have to eat what I don't like. Well, of course not. I don't have to eat something that I don't like just because they want to. Just because they want to hurry up. So she talked to her, and what can they do? They can't really do anything about it. They just have to honor what the parents say, because they can't argue with that. They can't punish the parents for saying it. This is illegal, so it's so obnoxious. But what I'm talking about is obnoxious that I had to deal with this problem. But my mom came and dealt with the problem. Another thing she'd learned how to do is, now when I was in elementary school, I had this for a while. I had this special chair that I would use to sit down, and because I don't understand why, I don't know why I needed it, but it happened. So what happened was, then one day she had to bring tools and fix my chair, because my chair wasn't working or something, I don't remember, or loose. So she brought tools. She took the chair out of the classroom, not to interrupt, and then she fixed it and brought it back. So that was something that we had to do. I also did. She had to do for me many times. So it's but when it comes to elementary, when it comes to high school and middle school, things were better because we're no longer afraid of teachers. They're human now. They're not. They don't just ignore our word or punish us for our word, which was to me is obnoxious. Because, for example, let's go back to the food. I don't think I need to eat food that I don't like just because they want to. That's not fair. But in middle school, they can't do that. You tell them what you want, and they get it for you. That's it. In high school, the same thing. So, with that, thank you, parents. The reason I was telling you these stories is because I wanted you to know how much parents help us in our daily lives. In closing, let me say thank you for listening to this episode of The Disabled Life. You can follow me on the following platforms. You can follow me at Good Pods. You can leave comments, messages there. You can also follow me on Twitter at The Disabled Guy. And you can also listen to me on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and many others. Once again, thank you for listening, and I'll also give you my email. My email is Kilo Echo 4 Kilo Echo Yankee, or KE4KEY at gmail.com. Once again, thank you, and thank you for your support, and I'll see you next week. Additionally, you can also follow me at Spotify, which I did not know at the time when I did this outro, because I was not going to go ahead and redo my whole outro just because I forgot that. I did not know that.